Last week on the program, we began looking back at what's been the great overland adventure all these months.
It is 0 degrees.
Land Rover.
It's another day, another freeway.
This is more an auto rickshaw with a car's body.
Plenty more that we'd like to still take you through because there just has been so much.
Negative, the country of India.
This is so cool.
This week, there are many more special things we'd like to take a look back at because we've been to so many places, experienced so many things, and met some fantastic people as well.
The great overland adventure is on the move. Come be a part of it.
I've talked so much about meeting interesting people all over the world and all along the journey. Some of those people are also really famous people, and we got lucky with them because it was nice to have them come in and share some of their experiences with us and also be a part of our journey in a sense. I don't know how to describe him really because I think adventurer is probably the best way to encapsulate everything that you've done.
Last year, I was proud to be the first ever in the world to do the Dakar Rally with a car without any single drop of petrol in the car, with a 100% electric car. You're going to be entrepreneur of your own adventures. Because if not, you cannot sell it. And if you don't sell it, the dream doesn't exist.
It's nice to hear Albert talk about all this, right? I mean, he's doing the things that many of us talk about doing, but we don't get around to doing them. Formula One doesn't need an introduction, and Formula One drivers certainly don't. So while the cars were traversing through Italy, they had the chance to catch up with the Mercedes team and its legendary drivers.
Namaste.
Thank you so much. How does it feel? We're doing 6 continents, 60,000 kilometers, and about 25 countries.
Super, super crazy. Yeah. We do about, I think in the season, maybe 20,000. So you do a crazy amount. I mean, I can't drive that much. So these guys are doing something quite historic, and it'll be great to have you a part of it. It's amazing. I can't even imagine all the things that this car is going to see and experience, around the world. It's a great way of showing, how reliable, because this car was assembled in India. Yeah. So you can all be very proud of him because he's done an amazing job, and it's just as reliable as anywhere else there's built.
That was an interesting evening to see how these top-notch racing drivers, how they think. It was great interacting with them, the autograph, the cars that we had.
Thank you so much for talking to me. Now, getting inside a Formula One headquarters is what? Something that not everyone can do because it is extremely, extremely secretive.
This is the actual car that Lewis drove across the finish line at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix last year.
And we, of course, met the head of the motorsports division, Toto Wolff. He was extremely, extremely passionate.
It sounds a little crazy, yeah. It's quite a road trip. I'm happy you made it until here. Knock on wood, it's going to continue well.
This is a very special car for you, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. We wanted to have a straight fight between Nico and Lewis at the end. And so on one hand, I was very happy for Lewis to win the championship. And on the other side, Nico broke down a couple of laps ago, so it was a bit bittersweet at that moment. It is a spectacular car. I think you will be getting a lot of attention with that car.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Really adventure.
And you continue your road trip. Drive safely.
Sure.
Not too fast, but the Mercedes will not let you down.
Now, sometimes the people that you meet also inspire you to take on something that you otherwise would never dream of doing. It was like a shot of adrenaline when I met with Garret McNamara, who's, of course, the world record holder and famous surfer from the United States, who spends a lot of time in Portugal. He's learned to master and conquer the massive waves on that particular coastline. He took us out into the water, and I have to tell you, what a thrill. I still get goosebumps when I think about that experience. I was in a wetsuit in the sea, far away from the shore. We were all on the jet ski, and Garret took us through the waves, almost riding right through it. He also toppled me into the water. It was a bit of a shocking surprise, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. From being on a jet ski to a paddleboard and cutting through the water at a very fast speed. What an experience. This was one of the most exhilarating experiences of my life. I am thrilled that I got this opportunity, and with none other than Garret.
We were driving through the streets of Istanbul, and we came across this guy by the name of Erbil.
He is well known across the world for his street art, and he actually gave us an opportunity to kind of capture that GLA adventure on the walls of Istanbul.
Alan, this idea of being a traveling artist, I mean, when did that start?
The whole thing was that I wanted to record my life my own way. So it's not just an image, it's always a story attached to a sketch.
So this is the masterpiece that Alan's calling this the postcards from London. This pretty much encapsulates our day in London.
Now, Britain, of course, has a rich heritage of motorcycles. And one of the areas that kind of spawned the era of cafe racers was Ace Cafe, where we met the owner of Ace Cafe.
Mark, hi.
Hi.
Baba from NDTV.
Hi, Mark. Sean.
He, in fact, recounted the days when this was just a cafe where people used to come and hang out, largely motorcycle gangs, and they would race from one cafe to the other.
I wish I could go with them. It sounds like a great trip to me.
We are in the land of the Dracula, and that's the only real significant piece of history that I know of Romania. And I think I actually spotted someone playing cricket on one of these areas.
Well, actually, Cricket Romania was set up in 2009 when a Romanian gentleman came to us and said he wanted to introduce cricket to the Romanians. And we've now got 8 clubs in Romania. I would like to present you small gifts from Cricket Romania.
Cricket Romania, Zindabad.
And Pennsylvania Club, Zindabad.
Yeah, I know.
And
anyone who promotes cricket in Romania, Zindabad.
You know, all these notions that you might have about difficult places with difficult people, it's not true at all. And we got a chance to sort of experience that everywhere we went, but you didn't even have to necessarily know the local language. I mean, Pala, for example, in Italy, certainly didn't know Italian and still learned his way around it. Figured out how to speak it in a sense without using those words, because you got to speak Italian with your hands.
Europe and then Africa.
Africa.
Not USA. She also wants to come. She also wants to come. So we just had this most fascinating, difficult conversation in Italian. Did you pick up a few Italian words? So
I did. Bella, at least. I know that means good now.
Perfect. 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 I see your arms have built up driving that steering wheel. Strong arms.
There was one thing that was kind of common to the journey. It didn't matter which country we were in. Everywhere else that we went, the cars were out of place. We kept getting these expressions from passers-by who had to sort of turn around and say, hang on a second, who's driving that thing? Where's the steering wheel? In the US, a lot of people thought, you know, they've, I think, accidentally put the steering wheel on the wrong side. Take a look.
This is wild. This is so cool. And the GL's the same thing? Is it opposite drive? Yeah. Is it really?
Put the steering wheel on the wrong side.
Yeah, right? I don't know how they messed that up.
Yeah, they got that wrong.
Yeah. Supposed to go on this side. It's on the opposite side. Take it with you. Yeah, man, me too. Jump in.
And one of the things we'd almost anticipated or expected wherever we went was that we might get pulled over by some cops. We thought we'll get to meet the traffic police of many countries because, you know, we're driving right-hand drive cars, we've got strange license plates on them. But surprisingly, that didn't happen very often. And the one time that it did happen in the US, we almost asked for trouble because we were passing an army base. It looked interesting to us, so we got onto the service road and started taking pictures. And of course, that wasn't a great idea.
Okay, got a quick question. What made you divert over here to photograph or look around Fort Riley?
Sir, it looks impressive. That's the only thing.
You gotta understand.
I understand.
National security concerns, doesn't matter who it is.
No, we understand.
We get calls, anybody coming out here taking photographs. Okay? Just give me a few minutes, I'll be right back with you guys, all right?
All right, thank you, sir.
Well, like I said, unfortunately, if you get around a military base, you're gonna probably, I mean, anybody is gonna start taking pictures and using video cameras. Everybody gets nervous.
Yeah, no, in retrospect, it was not clever. Right. We'll keep that in mind.
I don't know what exactly the scenario is, but we are currently being escorted by 2 motorcycle riding officers towards the Luxembourg town. I can't remember the name.
Please follow the road for 800 meters.
But let's see how this goes.
We basically decided that, when we saw the road signs, that we might as well go and have lunch in Luxembourg. How often can you say that? And we got pulled over by the cops. Now, I was racking my brains trying to figure out, because I was in the lead car, what I had done wrong.
The car out of here?
Yeah, right, sure.
The passport, please. Back.
And even in London, we actually had lots and lots of fun. We went to the London Motor Museum, which is of course famous for the biggest collection of Hollywood cars. And the one that was special to me were the 2 Batmobiles that were parked inside a Batcave. And I remember clapping and the lights came on.
It's quite special to see them in real form. And this is not a replica. This is the actual car that was used in the TV series. And the one there, that's also a Batmobile, a little more modern looking one.
We made time out to visit RM Classics, run by Rafiq and Majid, who take special pride in reviving these classic cars.
So this is a lovely Lotus 7.
I did the Rallye du Maroc Classic almost 6 times with it.
Yeah.
And I've won the 2013 edition with this car.
This car is a very special one because it belonged to one of the most famous French or international designers, and it's Mr. Yves Saint Laurent, brought to Morocco, being driven in Tangiers and Marrakesh.
So we're off to the Technical Museum.
They have the Ford Model T, which was the first common man's car. And that's an Austrian car, actually. Steyr is an Austrian manufacturer. This silver file, which means silver arrows, this is the car that won the 1954 and 55 Formula 1 championship.
Ishan and I are actually 2 different kind of characters of auto journalists that you will get. He's more the encyclopedia, I would call him, the walking, talking encyclopedia of sorts. I remember we walked into that museum in Romania, the Țiriac collection, and his eyes just lit up like he had seen, this is what he wanted to do for the rest of his life.
I like a lot of the cars, and seriously, a lot of them. So I'm going to spend some more time here, look at more cars.
When I saw 150 cars, including some of them which I've lusted after all my life, it was brilliant.
I'll have to come back very soon.